I've really noticed, and this is one of the biggest, I guess you could say, issues. I don't want to say it's an issue, but a lot of these players are just not picking necessarily the right, strategy to do what they have to do today. The big thing today is making sure that they're going through and like getting as many kills as possible. We see a lot of people choosing, sniper rifles out of a loot box, that kind of a thing. Not necessarily going to be the best gun for today, as I'm sure you'd probably agree, Brad.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, if you're used to playing a sniper, if you're used to playing that role, it's definitely going to be a little bit harder.
It is. There's also the issue where you're playing aggressive too, so you might not be playing where you could get the amount of cash and get your loadouts and things like that and get all your best guns. So you kind of have to play with the drops that you find.
Absolutely.
We have an updated UVA 6 Vandy 5.
There we go.
Just forgot to equip, that's all.
So again, a close match. Alex still really bringing the noise. We'll bring Alex back into focus. Now again, as Lavelle said, definitely my favorite for this match. Really like his energy. I like the preparedness that he put into the pregame. Now what we're waiting for is to really see, can these other guys from UVA bring the noise?
Yeah, I mean, Arbeck is trying.
So here's Arbeck. He's dropping into, I believe, his fourth match now. 40 seconds left of his warm-up, so he's got a little bit of time before everything gets going.
Here, ammo up.
Looks like Jay Quinn's got a kill.
And that's all I have for now, so.
That works. Ooh.
Over to Z Fonger.
I was okay on plates, so I figured not.
Looking for anybody to get a frag on the board.
We gotta go hunting.
Yeah, we gotta quit, man. Now we gotta find people.
See, as you can hear a little bit of the in-game audio, some of the players talking about, now like pretty much what they're saying is, hey, we're not finding enough players here. It's gonna be faster to drop out, start a new match, fresh 150 players on the map. If you guys can hear that in-game audio, obviously, they're talking about, what's gonna be the most beneficial thing to find new bodies to drop.
Yeah, and an hour is really not a lot of time either. Once that clock starts going and you start waiting in the lobbies, it goes a lot faster than you think.
I think, because this is the first time we're doing this, obviously, Brad. And I think we were, obviously time was an issue of kind of seeing, do we have enough time?
Sure.
Too little time. And we were surprised at like how fast time went by. That hour goes by so fast. I can imagine you're in the game, but even like us watching the game. And the games yesterday actually came really down to the wire, so it was close.
Yeah, I think it's a perfect amount for the competition.
Where's the last guy?
You really feel the heat.
One's on the left.
Forklift. Team wipe.
So we got 4 players really going at it right now. 3 from UVA, repping as hard as they can. 1 in the menu. 1 jumping into the armored truck, something we saw a lot of success with yesterday.
A stairway.
Looks like Alex Killjoy just got killed.
Yeah.
He had 1 kill.
So he's going over to the gulag. Now, he's been really successful in the gulag, so let's see what he's able to do right now.
Nice, that's what I like to hear, Daniel. That's what I like to hear. He says I'm neck and neck.
So how are points being tallied here? Is it just total kills from all 3 members, or is it the top member from UVA?
No,
That's a great question. So
great question, Brad.
Yeah, top scorer for the team is the one who represents that team.
Okay.
Yeah. So everyone is, Brad. Everyone is their own individual. Even in terms of prizes and things like that. We asked, because one of the things with Bragg House is we wanted to get that team spirit. So we reached out and we said, hey, how many gamers? We had to cap at a certain point, but if people came with 3 gamers, we were like, sure, bring 3 gamers, to the competition. But as you saw from the Texas LSU game, if someone has a higher score, then all 3 players will lose if one person has a higher score.
Yeah.
So, but obviously, if UVA has 3 chances almost for someone to have a top score.
Yep.
They are the 1 seed team, I would say, in the bracket.
Judging by their strategy, I would say that's the case too.
Yeah.
Although I gotta hand it to Alex Killjoy, he's got a very cool stream setup here. I like the stream. And he's got 3 kills right now.
I think we wanted Gonzaga to move on just because we all like the OBJ style that gamer had.
Absolutely. Not only that, but like, you know, the comeback story, seeing him like he was 5-6 points down, bringing it back in just a few seconds. Like everyone loves a story like that, you know. So to see him compete at that level, you know, I just don't think there was really, you know, a stopping
he's upstairs.
the competition today for them. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
there's only so much you can do when you're up against the wall. You're already looking at, you know, somebody like Freedom J who set the tone the first day, and you find out he's almost 30 points above you. You know, you're going to lose a little bit of that morale. But I will say, I really think that he represented well. Both of them did, of course, but, you know, the one I'm really, you know, referencing here is AMJ. So AMJ, you know, fought really well. I think it was just a matter of kind of like we were hearing yesterday, you know, it comes down to where you drop, what choices you make after you drop, and how well you manage, you know, the total number of people on the map to, you know, how long you're going to stay there versus drop into a fresh one. Everyone we saw that just hot dropped did much better kill-wise and, of course, you know, point-wise.
Yeah, man, I think Freedom J said too, he's like, you know, when we asked him, we were like, how did you put up 34 confirmed kills? And he was like, you know, any day, you know, someone could bring it. I think he brought it again today.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 2 in a row. I wouldn't call it luck.
I know.
It's loading back up right now.
So
Alex
going back
Killjoy just
over,
put up
we are
3.
on
Yeah, but I
RBIC
got
97
big
now,
kills.
taking a look at him.
Be 2 instead of 3.
Arbeck's leading.
Trying to find a connection.
Team.
He just got dropped.
Oof. Just got dropped.
Okay, I'm back in.
Now we'll see. What does he do here? Does he stay in game or does he start
I
another?
haven't gotten the clear.
2 teammates
Looks like
dropped.
he's gonna
Yep.
back out.
Ugh.
Yeah,
He
they're
did have
going for a
one.
total body count for sure. They definitely know what they're doing. Yesterday, now, the one thing I thought was really interesting, Arbeck and Jay Quinn were one of the only schools that we saw where people actually teamed up together to come up with, okay, you know, let's work together. How are we going to maximize our kills for our team? How are we going to make sure that we're getting this done? It was really interesting to see them kind of pre-stratting. How are we going to go up against these guys? And of course, those guys were you at the time, Brad. But, you know, what they ended up doing was strategizing, hey, we're going to ride around this truck. One of us will drive. One of us will just mount LMG. And we'll just patrol the map looking for people to hunt. And it worked out, you know, really well, as we saw for his kill-death ratio yesterday.
Yeah, you know, one of the cool things about Call of Duty is they give you a lot of ways in game to track other players, whether it's UVAs or heartbeat sensors or thermal sights, things like that. There's a lot of ways to find other players. And of course, footsteps are a big one too. Hearing people running around, open up doors.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm a big fan of the dead silence perk. You know, it makes you move silently. Or no, I'm sorry, not the perk. The field power up.
That's always a hot spot.
Definitely a big fan for that one. That's saved me more times than it's not.
Oh yeah, and you could get the drop. That's the one that makes it so your footsteps don't make any noise. And in Warzone, you could get the drop on pretty much everyone if you got dead silence on.
Oh yeah,
Nobody
absolutely.
expects it. No one expects it. It's a rare drop.
So over here, we have RBIC 97 flying the copter away. Now, he's in warm-up, so again, none of this is really counted towards the total score. But, you know, he's just kind of messing around. He's just, I think, waiting to get back into, you know, the competitive match. Hit that guy with his helicopter. Got quite a few of those, especially in the downtown area. Sweep right up next to somebody on a roof, hit him.
Alright, time to, I'm
You got everyone dropping in except for Z Fonger for UVA. He's in a gulag right now.
Yeah.
Looks like he's in an intense fight. Just won his fight. So that's a kill for him.
slam the ground.
So let's focus on RBIC over here real quick.
Now the warm-up can really begin for me.
Well, Alex over here saying he's ready to get out of this warm-up. 22 seconds left. Prime trying to connect for a final kill.
Looks like Z Fonger's game just ended, bringing a kill from the Gulag to UVA.
There we go. So here's Alex dropping back in. Right now, repping by himself Vanderbilt. We're going to see what he can do.
A little better. We can go downtown again, but that's probably our closest bet.
Now we're going to go ahead and full screen him for a minute so you guys can kind of focus on that game.
Jumping. There. Ooh, got some stuff here. No. Dang it. I keep swapping through everything. Go ahead and take what you want out of
I
that.
hear somebody in here somewhere.
Upstairs, maybe?
Nope, bottom floor.
Alright, I'm coming.
Where we just came in.
I'm coming. His buddy's probably nearby.
Enemy down.
I only have pistol ammo now.
So again, as you're seeing, Alex quickly moving through the building, but more importantly, utilizing his team to help him out. Utilizing his team to help him get a little bit further, and of course, make sure that they are, working as efficiently as possible to maximize his kill-death ratio. Nug69 said go Cougs in the chat.
I can hear it.
Thanks for the love. Guys, if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Twitch, please do us a favor. Drop us a follow. Drop us a subscribe. We're trying to bring you as much esports college content as we possibly can. And it's made easier when you guys like and subscribe so you can keep up to date with all the news that Bragg House is dropping. Keep up with all the events that they're hosting. And of course, as they push out their newest version of the app, newest version of their website, we'll keep you up to date on everything that's going on in the community, which is really the foremost focus of the entire Bragg House initiative, is the community around college sports.
Downed him.
He's still moving around the
Oh, there's more.
Oh shit, there was one.
So again, Alex getting a heavy amount of kills. Now, Lavelle, I know I told you earlier, it's definitely one of those things that I really, really, like being able to see, Alex play. I like the way that he's organized.
Or armor, I should say, not ammo.
How do you feel about the game so far?
Downed him.
Oh, I mean, this is
Somebody else got me, but
this is
finish him off.
this is exactly what we want to see. We want to see this kind of play, this intensity. It's like I feel like everyone is coming through really, really, really hard.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, I think Alex could still pin us out. Do we have the most up-to-date score as of right now?
You guys enjoying?
I think it's still 6-7.
6-7 official. Okay, so we gotta wait for some official deaths to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Brad, how are you feeling so far about the game? Are you pretty excited? You feel like UVA is going to be able to pull it out?
I couldn't say either way. I'm sure your bets are going crazy right now on Bragg House because it looks like it's going to come down to the wire here between Alex Killjoy and Arbeck.
Yeah.
Right now, Alex Killjoy is dropping back in with 4, and Arbeck's got 2. So,
Wow,
it's going to be close.
Wait,
It's
yeah,
gonna be
you
close
did
here.
first.
Look at the two smart schools.
I know, right?
Now, we do have Z Fonger over here. He's been a little silent. He's moving through, the airport, trying to find some people to connect with. I think we saw this mistake made by a couple players yesterday, dropping into, hot areas, but dropping into them later in the match, which at that point, there's not going to be many people there to connect with. So I think he's hopping back in his Jeep to head out from there. Again, Brad, what you were saying about the turning radius, you can see how agile those little golf cart Polaris things are. as they're kind of moving. Whether you're going forward, reverse, same with the truck, just super simple to move around.
Yeah, you could slip in between fences and stuff and get places where you wouldn't expect a vehicle and just run people over, honestly. That's what they're great for.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Around this way.
One of my big things was utilizing specifically the helicopter. Like, so I'll go down in the, LA styled,
Got it.
like reserve. I don't know what you would call that. Like, the giant concrete basin.
Yeah.
If you have a locked on rocket, you go right under the underpass. It's not the easiest thing to do, but if you can float underneath there, you'll lose any rocket behind you. So like every vehicle in the game is just so different than most battle royales that we've seen.
Oh, yeah. And one of the games yesterday I was in, I actually got in a helicopter and was, I think there was 5 minutes left. I was just trying to do all I can to get kills. So I just got in the helicopter and really just tried to ram other players with it.
There you go.
That's all I was out there.
Here's
And
box.
that's actually a very good strategy for getting kills quick.
And
Oh yeah, yeah, it mows
Of
them
course,
right
I
over.
failed at it, but
On the other
it's a
side,
good way.
not this
It's
side.
good for sure.
So there's Jaquid winning his first gulag. So we brought you full screen for that. So we're gonna go ahead and bring you back now. Now we're looking at Jay Quinn as well as Z Fonger, both representing UVA. Now, Jay Quinn just got himself out of the gulag. Z Fonger, it's been a while since he's died, so we're going to get some updates on his confirmed kill count next time he goes down. But he has been in game now for a couple minutes without any deaths.
And there.
Last update we had, Arbeck, 6 kills. Alex Killjoy, 7. Leading their respective teams, UVA currently 6, down to Vanderbilt 7.
Just parachuted.
Now, Lavelle, so you guys at the Bragg House came up with this awesome eSports March Madness bracket. First of its kind, initiative for everyone that's just joining us. I know it's not too late to go fill out the bracket, but what is the bracket and how did you guys come up with it?
So we wanted to marry the, we were all kind of disappointed when we couldn't have March Madness or a traditional type of sports. And we were like, hey, esports is fastest growing sport, there's still so much room to grow. So we thought of an idea of just kind of meshing the two together. When you think of sports, we wanted to say, hey, we went back to basics, and the basics are team spirit, the fight, the competition. So we said, we can give everyone the exact same thing with esports. And actually, I think everyone can attest that we've been all hyped watching all these matches now.
We need to get some
Absolutely.
drumline music.
I know some of these players have definitely, I think our last game was probably the conclusion of Freedom J, watching some of the kills that he had, some of the C4 explosions. Those were absolutely insane.
Yeah.
I'm coming.
Tough kills to pull off, too. There's a ton of time between the time when you throw the C4 and when you detonate it, and you got to time it just right. So it takes a ton of skill to pull those off.
I gotta play.
Oh yeah.
And like these last, it's like we have like the 2-minute drill, you have like the last half, and like all the other sports, like this, like we're like 25 minutes to the end, and you can tell the strategies just change. They just go in.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I mean, like this is the kind of, we wanted to bring something where people appreciate that kind of competition, and they really bring it. It's not just a game, it's sport.
Absolutely. Well, I think it's definitely being displayed here today. We've seen a lot of competition. We've seen a lot of back and forth between different college teams. I think the Hokies brought the most noise fan-wise, so I'm going to be interested to see can these other schools bring the fandom. I think that as they actually mentioned in his announcement, when we talked to Freedom J, one of the big things he said was that team love, the school love. Devon Morgan, former alum and former Hokies player, giving him a shout out, saying, "Hey, come on, man, we got this." Really kept him motivated. So these teams getting involved, these students getting involved, these alum getting involved, all from their respective schools. It's really motivating the players. So guys, don't be afraid to type in the chat. Let your players know who you're rooting for. Nug69 said earlier, go Cougs. We had a couple people say go Hokies, especially when the Virginia Tech Hokies were playing. And then we've even had go LSU from a couple people. Guys, your players really enjoy seeing that feedback. It makes them more motivated, it hypes them up, and motivates them to play harder. So don't be afraid to support them in the chat.
So the next game after this one, our Texas Tech and Ohio State game, we have both energetic fans, both have multiple players, and all the players are ranked very high. So I mean, we're gonna see who has the edge with that. I mean, I'm can't wait to see that matchup.
Oh, there's a guy in front.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we just saw a victory. Now that was the first Arbic victory, or I'm sorry, I believe he actually may have lost. It looks like I think he lost out of the gulag. So he's gonna be going back to the menu trying to redrop. So what we can do, let's go ahead, bring over Arbic's screen. Now he's jumping back in. From there, we also have player number 2, of course, is Jay Quinn. He's dropping in. Now, he's just dropping into a warm-up, so he has 55 seconds left until he's actually on the ground earning points for his team. From there, we have Zfonger, who is fresh out of a match, jumping back in. And last but not least, Alex, who just finished his match as well. So all of them are now jumping back into a fresh match across the board, kind of starting over. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next couple of minutes.
And now I'm told the updated score is 10-8 with Vanderbilt up right now. Alex Killjoy in the lead.
So Alex Killjoy representing Vanderbilt with 10 to UVA's 8 from Arbic.
Yeah, it's getting tight.
Yeah, I have a.
Oh, okay.
Our official score for our bake is 8, but unofficially I think Alex Killjoy has at least 10 confirmed kills, if not more.
Yeah, you know it's.
Well, he was just killed.
Looks like we got everyone dropping in right now, or about to drop in.
Now Alex is the furthest back. So we do have these 3 players all representing UVA. The furthest one out looks like he's 45 seconds. We have another one 17 seconds away from dropping. The last and first to the ground would be Jay Quinn, who is now in the plane getting ready to drop.
I don't even know what your score is right now.
I don't know. That first one is pretty good though.
Yeah, the first match you got quite a few.
I got 5.
Yeah, so official, we have Vandy 10, UVA 8.
So everybody at home, as Lavelle just mentioned, the official score, Vanderbilt 10, UVA 8. Now, we do still have 20 more minutes. We've seen crazier stuff happen. We've seen stuff, we've seen Gonzaga the first day in the Sweet 16 pull a comeback out in less than 5 minutes. Today, we saw, I think, Freedom J almost drop a 20 bomb of frags within that same time frame. So anything could happen. This is not over yet. 10-8 is a close game, way closer than some of our other competitive games of this tournament. Yeah. Let's see what comes out of it. So again, we have Arbate 97 dropping back in. That's 2 UVA players on the ground. Again, we also have our 3rd UVA player, Zfonger, dropping in as well. Alex still 42 seconds away from getting onto the ground.
To not actually get out of bed at the time I was.
Yeah, those queue times, they eat up a lot of time, It's one of those things. If you're planning to do a hot drop and get as many kills quickly as you can, and you die before you get any kills, you wasted a lot of time waiting in the lobby.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So high risk, high reward situation when you play aggressive.
So we got Arbik, asking his teammates, hey guys, let me get some frags, down him for me, let me finish him off. He knows he's down by 2. He knows he has some catching up to do. Arbik definitely, they brought the research, they brought the teamwork last time, so it's gonna be really interesting to see how they play this out this time.
No, and I hear them. They know the time, they know the scores. They're trying to step it up. I mean, we have a lot of time, like you said, under 20 minutes, a little under 20 minutes, all the time in the world.
A lot of loot out in the middle.
So we're seeing them both go for it right now.
I didn't.
It's like everyone's just dropping in, finding their weapons, getting their armor. Armor is super important in this game.
Yep, looting some boxes. Now, one of the big things that I want to note real quick, Alex jumping back into his match. So he's now jumping into his first match in the last couple of minutes.
Their kid's east. Oh, they're on me, bro. I never saw him, but I heard shit, so. Got one? Shielding.
So we got some action going on. Now Arbake moving in with a squad of random, trying to find some contacts around him.
Yeah.
Got more action going on over here as well.
Just killing these weak. God, fuck.
See, Fonger got dropped. Now going down to the gulag.
Alright, we need to fucking get a loadout and some UAVs. Oh, we gotta kill some people.
Now back over to Alex, who's currently streaming.
Closest one.
Dropping in with randoms.
Good idea.
Now, Brad, how do you feel? Do you feel like it's better to go with two, teammates from your same school or friends that, they know the drill, they know what you're going to be doing, or just two randoms? I think I've heard a couple competitors just explain to random teammates, hey, guys, this is what I'm going after. Let me get these kills.
So I think the way to do it is if you got 3 teammates, all 3 of them play teams, but on separate teams. None of them are in the same lobby. That way you have the benefit of getting picked up by your teammates if you go down, revived, sharing loot and things like that, while also getting different lobby times and things like that and getting into different games. That way everyone's working at the same time. If you run everyone on the same team, I think that might cut into time a little bit because everyone's working in the same queue and things like that. Your chances of having your teammate with the highest score go down when something like that happens.
Absolutely.
So I would definitely play on a team, but separate teams.
Well, I would definitely say I agree with you after, especially seeing 2 days of competition, 3 days of competition now. It's definitely apparent squads are the way to go. I believe Alex Killjoy is still up 10-8 in confirmed kills. But that being said, we are in the final 15 minutes. So that being said, 15 minutes remain in this match for somebody to pull out 8-10. Very close match. We've seen way closer that end up way further apart. So let's see what ends up happening.
Brad, what did you think about us? I know you're a pretty big gamer, and we appreciate you coming to this competition and giving it your all. What do you think,
It's a pleasure, man.
What do you think how we married traditional sports with the gaming industry?
I think it's awesome. You guys, it was all done on the fly too. We didn't expect to need to do this, but here we are. And it's not like we got anything going on in the meantime. What else are we watching? You know what I mean? So why not do it? And do it right too.
That's exactly right. We actually reached out to our interns who were there, and they did a lot of research and listened to people. But honestly, I think the most comment we got from them is, we're not doing anything. We would love something to do and follow some sport.
A sense of purpose, please.
Yeah.
No, it is cool though. Even something just on the fly like this, I felt the pressure getting on. When I went live, I was like, oh man, the wire's on.
And see, that's good to hear, because that's literally the reason why we did this with Brag House. We wanted to make sure that, we had this, this real competition. And, the reason why Brag House even started with college sports is because you get that passion and that fire. So we meshed 2 passionate industries together, to kind of get that same kind of fire.
Awesome. Yes, seamless transition, man.
Absolutely.
Awesome
So we're
stuff.
saying
Looks
3.
like Alex Killjoy's got 3 right now.
No, he is over there absolutely slaying right now.
Alright, cool.
And Jay Quinn, I believe, got 1 kill that he just logged, and Z Fonger with 2. But again, I believe it's R Bake for UVA who's got the top score right now, going head-to-head with Alex Killjoy. He's in the gulag right now, which of course gives you an easy chance to net a kill, but also to put you in a lobby too. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Obviously the gulag kills. The one main advantage there is it helps you get back into the round. As I know you guys both know, we're not really counting those towards the official kill count, but that 2 minutes that you're saving by jumping out, searching for another game, going through the warm-up, at minimum is a minute 46 seconds saved, and over the course of an hour-long match, that can add up.
So to reiterate just one more time, you said we're not counting gulag kills?
Yeah, gulag kills are not counted towards the official score, only because it's 1 versus 1, so it's not necessarily as fair.
Got you. Okay.
Absolutely.
Sure. All right. That adds additional strategy, which I'm sure UVA is taking full advantage of.
Of course.
Yeah, their communication is seamless.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm gonna grab car. and I think I'm gonna go hunt.
But
back.
Alex Killjoy is just not letting up, man.
He's not.
He's not. He's serious.
Make sure nobody's in here though. All right, hop in.
There's like 50 seconds before he drops in.
Oh, guy flying.
All right, so we're waiting for some up-to-date team scores. I believe they're being updated right now. We just had a couple players officially die at the end of their matches.
So
we'll cut
let me
over-
ask you, is this going to be an annual thing now? Is this? I know it happened by accident, sort of, but are we going to keep it going at Bragg House? Is it going to be an annual Bragg House March Madness gaming tournament?
Oh yeah, I mean we want to keep this going, and we also want to expand it. You know, we know that there's a lot of things we can do even with this, but you know, I think it's going to be an annual thing. But we want to see 64 teams. You know,
Okay.
we don't want to just 16 teams. We want 64 teams. We want 3-on-3s. We want competitions leading up until the March Madness. I mean, I think we can have like an entire season of this, though. To be honest.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And with that being said, Lavelle, you know, I know, you know, both of you guys mentioned the word annual, but yesterday you and I were talking about potentially even having, like, it doesn't necessarily have to be a March Madness bracket. You guys are already inventing something completely new. You guys can kind of take it where you want from here. So I know yesterday some of the fans had some feedback. You guys listened to it right there on the stream, and then afterwards we even chatted about it of, you know, okay, I want to capture those messages. I want to figure out what people are asking for in the community, what kind of game modes they want to see, and then we started talking about how hard those would be to implement into a tournament. So, like, you guys are not only incredibly agile, you're incredibly fast, and more importantly, incredibly responsive, which, you know, we don't really see many tech companies exercise that these days, in my opinion. Granted, that's my opinion, but, you know, you guys are really putting community at the forefront, and it shows throughout this whole tournament, but also throughout your entire brand.
Well, thank you, Matt. I mean, that's, you said it. The key word we try to focus on is community. So, you know, we want people. We want to listen because, you know, we're bringing this to everyone else. And you're right. You know, this. You know, we think we can have this annually, but we think, you know, because of the freedom we can scale it with, you know, we can have it whenever we want. You know, we can have just different types of brackets. You know, we're focusing on other sports even. You know, college baseball, women's soccer. You know, a lot of other different things that are coming out. So, you know, I think there's a lot of room to grow, and we're pretty excited with what the playing field we have for now.
Absolutely. And I mean, obviously, you know, we're really enjoying it alongside with you. Again, thanks for having us host. Brad, you were in the competition yesterday, and you're co-hosting with us now, kind of giving us the player's perspective, which is interesting. I definitely haven't seen that in esports before. Definitely much more of, you know, something I'm comfortable seeing on ESPN. You know, you see the football players interview afterwards. So it's really cool to get your perspective as a player who was in this tournament yesterday, kind of helping you guide us through some of these player decisions. We also were joined, if you weren't with us earlier, by Devon Morgan, former NFL and college Hokies superstar that was there cheering his Hokies on. No doubt successfully. Freedom J dropped 34 points over the course of that match. But, you know, we are really trying to connect college athletes, college esports gamers, college sports enthusiasts all together on one platform, and that's something that I think you guys are doing really interesting. Now, I know you guys did an NCAA, you know, football tournament. You guys now are doing. You guys had a basketball March Madness tournament ready to go. That is now, you know, pivoted over to esports. Still making sure you give entertainment to the people. You know, what college sports does the Bragg House focus on?
So you're right. We had a very successful college football thing that we did, where the grand prize was, you know, to send someone to the national championship game. So that was well received. We had a lot of fun doing it. And as you also noted, we had a pretty, you know, we're actually going to do, I think, like 6 or 7 separate March Madness events, traditional March Madness events. And then obviously, you know, we're all affected by COVID-19. So we combined and said, hey, you know what, let's do something where we can still keep everyone safe. But we can still bring them the same passion that you get from any other March Madness bracket. And I think I think we're able to do that. And so what sports we're getting into, like I said, I think we have the whole gambit of sports. I don't think we're limited to really anything. I think, you know, we can really take, you know, every college sport and kind of mirror it with an esports platform. And I think that's the beauty of this, though.
Absolutely. You know, I know just in talking to you, you know, off stream, we've seen a couple other games as well. that really entertain us, that you guys are kind of currently considering as options. Is that something that you guys are actively trying to come up with new examples, new ways of how we can kind of interact with traditional sports as an esports team? I know yesterday you guys had a lot of crazy ideas. I know you're kind of keeping them under wraps, but what's the easiest way that we can stay up to date with all the Bragg House info as you guys are dropping these things?
I would just say go to the just go to the website. We have our contact information. If you want to just subscribe to this, just kind of follow us and keep up to date, or just reach out to us. All our information is there. Because like we would love to, like I said, we're going to stay to what has made us successful. We're going to listen to people, see what they say, and then kind of build towards that. So it's like, because again, the platform is not just it's a platform that you're right, we had to put on the fly, but I think we were in a better position to do that because we listened to what the community had to say.
Absolutely. Well, I'm really looking forward to kind of keeping it up with you guys. So for everyone that's just now joining us, again, Lavelle just explained, this is the eSports March Madness bracket. First time we've ever seen college sports kind of hybrid with the eSports scene and culture. What you can do is go to thebraghouse.com, join the March Madness bracket. Now, we have got some questions in the chat that I want to touch on. Fritz, it looks like you asked, are there points to win the game? It seems like this style of competition promotes quitting early or dying. Well, that's the kind of cool part. It's a battle royale. It's kind of, you make your own outcome based off where you drop, the selections you make on your firearms, how you're playing, whether it's a team or a squad. We're allowing the players to kind of pick their play style. So if you want to drop in with a squad, drop in with a squad. If you want to drop in single, drop in single. Now, if you get res from a gulag fight, or if one of your teammates buy you back in, yeah, you're going to be back in the game sooner. Some players have made the choice, hey, I'd rather quit out, jump right back into the queue, get back into the action faster. So it really depends on what you prefer for your playstyle. At the end of the day, what we're competing for is total max points. So for instance, right now we have Vanderbilt versus UVA. Alex Killjoy representing Vanderbilt. Right now, currently confirmed kills is 15. Here's Alex here jumping 26 seconds left until he's jumping back into an actual match. Now, over on the UVA side, there's a lot more talent. They have 3 players. So the way that we're able to make that tournament fair is, of the 3 players, we take the highest score and allocate that towards the team score. Right now, that would be this player right here, Arbeck97, who is, for the second day in the row, carrying UVA. Now, 11-15 is a close game. They can still catch up. Now, the other 2 UVA players have approximately 3 confirmed kills and 5. So for UVA, the entire team score would still be 11, as Arbeck has the highest score. Just for explaining it to everybody that is just now jumping in. So Fritz, as you were asking, absolutely, it wouldn't be that hard. You could easily say, let me just jump back in. You could also say, let's see if we can get out of the gulag faster. We've seen players use both successfully.
Yep. 4 minutes left, and UVA is down by 4 kills.
So 11-15, Vanderbilt's favor.
I tell you what, I hope you guys closed off the bets, because right now it looks like Alex Killjoy is dropping in while Arbeck's got another minute or 2 on his lobby queue right now.
Yeah,
and we got 4 minutes left.
Yeah, how it works is we if it started or if it passed, no longer could place a bet. But I think Vandy might have broke a lot of people's brackets though.
I think so.
Absolutely.
Which is why people should, like I said, you can't bet on this one. You can't place a brag on this one. But there's you never know what's gonna happen. There's still a lot of competition here.
Oh yeah. You never know.
So Alex dropping a lot of fire. He's even going for melee kills at this point. Now we have player number 1 for UVA, Arbeck97, going for a drop-in. He has 47 seconds left. Player number 2, Jake Quinn, inside of the gulag, going for the single kill. We'll watch him for a second, see what he can do. Looks like he got that guy completely off guard. We have player 3 for UVA, Z Fogger, still in the game. Looks like he's auto-resing himself. He's under heavy fire, trying to get himself up. Might not be able to make it. Looks like he's going to be revived by a teammate.
Can we put up Arbeck and Alex Killjoy? Because that's literally, it's going to come down to Arbeck. I think he's to see if they can get these last few points.
Absolutely. Arbeck right now is still in warm-up, so we'll get that ready.
I'm going to use you as bait.
Looks like Alex is picking up his teammate.
Need my bait to be a lot
Now, granted, his teammate doesn't net him any points in this competition, but that's a guy that is still bringing back if he goes down. So that's a smart move.
Absolutely. Now, right now, we do see Arbe. He's dropping inside of the plane. About to drop in for his final drop, his last chance to get caught up. We have 2 minutes left.
2 rounds to my match. Come on.
The latest confirmed score is still 11-15. Alex sitting inside of the gulag. Not a lot going to happen here. He has at least another couple minutes until he fights. He's 3 fights out. We have approximately 2 minutes left. Really, it's going to all come down to Arbeck at this point. Let's see what Arbeck could do.
Yeah.
Dropping in high, incredibly risky with the amount of time he has left. Going for kills on the ground, going for some pistol
He has
snipes.
See if he
One
gets his
kill.
pistol kill.
Oh, not quite, not quite.
He'll get him.
He's chasing. The other player obviously running too.
I think the other player might have gotten a gun, though.
Yep,
This
it
is
looked like he
looking
picked up
good.
an AR.
He
Yep.
did.
Oh, no, it's still a pistol. 1 kill on the board. We still need 1 more. We have 1 minute. He has 1 minute to get 1 kill. We are down to the wire.
You got 30 seconds left.
Well, I got her. 30 seconds. Bro.
Alex finally dropping into another match.
Coming back from the gulag.
I need to find somebody like ASAP.
And it looks like Arbeck's got to do some work here.
Arbeck has 1 minute. 30 seconds remaining.
Where's the dang person now?
All Alex needs is 1 kill to potentially lock this in.
Yep. He's looking for whatever he can right now. And, you know, it's hard to find players under a minute.
15 seconds.
Dang.
A car is approaching.
Oh, they're on.
And
I see 'em.
it is time. So again, as I expected, I kind of felt it. Alex is very prepared. Alex Killjoy 99 representing Vanderbilt, bring home the win, 17-12. Final score 17-12. So unfortunately, it was not going to be possible. I wanted to see it happen. I wanted to see UVA progress. They've been very organized. Now, Lavelle, Brad, how do you guys feel about the outcome of that match? Were you guys expecting that?
I was not expecting that.
I was not expecting that. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. That was another upset, bracket upset. And I mean, everyone came to play. I mean, but give Alex Killjoy, Matt, your favorite player of the tournament, is his credit. He came for it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Brad, I know you competed with us yesterday. You competed against UVA. You saw that same team, go forward. Today they got knocked out. I'm sure you're a little satisfied about that.
Well, it does make me look a lot worse at the game at the same time. So, it's a two-way street.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, again, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for co-hosting with me and Lavelle for this match. Really look forward to it. Now, Alex, you absolutely killed it. Arbeck is saying in the chat, GG, Alex. So even Arbeck, he enjoyed the competition. They had fun. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Now, again, we do have one more game at the end of the night. So we do have one more game to bring you guys this evening. If you guys haven't already checked it out, this is the first ever eSports March Madness bracket. What we have up next is probably one of our hottest matches of the night. So we have Texas Tech, who brought a lot of noise, really, really fast, a lot of energy, a lot of kills, against Ohio State being ran by Quincy 4 yesterday. Cincy 4 absolutely destroyed it yesterday, bringing 19 kills for their team, and most of them were in pretty expressive ways. We saw a lot of C4 blowing stuff up. We saw vehicles blowing up. Cincy had no problem making a lot of noise wherever he went. So when we come back, in the next 15 minutes, we will be bringing you guys the last game of the night, the last game of our Elite 8. If you haven't already joined the bracket, you can go over to thebraghouse.com. The link's right below. Fill out your bracket, get involved, have some fun, represent your school. We're going to be back in 15 minutes, guys. So we will see you in 15 minutes. Make sure you have your bracket filled out for the Ohio State versus Texas Tech. Thank you. And we are back, everybody. Welcome back. We are here with the official eSports March Madness bracket brought to you by The Brag House. I'm here with Lavelle Wan, CEO of The Brag House, as well as Peter, who is a member of our eSports competition, Sergeant Bean, who has absolutely held it down for his team. How are you doing today, Peter?
Good. Thank you. Excited to be here.
So how do you feel about the competition so far?
I think it's been pretty neck and neck, different strategies, definitely some different gameplay, whether it's, 3v1 or 1v3. Been pretty interesting so far.
Absolutely. Well, you brought home a victory.
We brought that
LSU
victory
today.
to against LSU.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you're representing Texas. You're in this competition. You absolutely destroyed LSU earlier today. Now, yesterday, do you feel like your game was closer yesterday, or do you feel like it was closer today?
It was kind of tough to tell. I was kind of jumping back and forth on the stream when I had a chance in between getting back in the game. I thought today was a little rougher start. Yesterday seemed like it was going a little better. But overall, I think, worked out in my favor both days, obviously. So.
Absolutely. So, you're moving on to the Final Four representing Texas. I know Lavelle's super excited about that. Now, we have two of our final teams for the day to see who goes on to the Final Four. Now, we do have Texas Tech versus Ohio State going on right now. So, we're going to go ahead and key you guys into a few of the different gamers. Right now, top left from Texas Tech, we have Squiggle RY and Chris21. Now, in the upper right, we have Chris, upper left, Squiggle. Now, on the lower right-hand corner, we have Cincy 4 from Ohio State. And on top of that, we also have 3 additional windows. Now, what we're going to do is kind of switch back and forth for everyone just now joining us. We're going to be showing you guys different players at different points in time. What I really want you guys to be able to see here is, how we kind of drive home. It doesn't matter. It could be 2 people. It could be 3 people. We've had a few people in the chat ask, a one-person team can still win this tournament. As we are sitting here right now with Peter, who has been in this tournament the entire time representing Texas at Austin, Sergeant Bean 13, absolutely destroying, moving on to the Final Four as a single player. So, when you guys see a 3 versus 2 or a 3 versus 1, as Peter has shown, that has no forbearance on who's going to walk away with the win.
I mean, even as we saw just with the UVA game, and the UVA guys, thank you. They played with so much pride, and they were awesome. I mean, you can't say their skill level, but Alex Killjoy, Matt, your favorite player, he just brought it. He's brought it a little bit harder, and I was watching the UVA guys. Sometimes they just couldn't get kills, through no fault of their own. We're in the wrong area, just didn't happen. So a 1 versus 3 means nothing, especially in March Madness bracket.
Absolutely. Now, one of the big things I think that we're seeing a lot of both yesterday and today is really a lot of change up in strategy, if you would. The biggest thing, in my opinion, I think that I've noticed is yesterday, we saw a lot more, I feel like, running and gunning, if you would. Today, we're seeing a lot less of that.
Yeah. Now, as far as, I think running and gunning, I guess it depends on, what your ultimate goal is, I guess. If you're going to be in a squad, you want to stick together, kind of watch each other's backs. If you're playing solo, I find that you can't really obviously count on anybody but yourself, so you gotta take a different approach. My personal opinion, I think the run and gun method seems to work the best. You get in there and you get some kills. You go to the gulag, you come back. You're trying to get as many kills as possible. So I think that overall the run and gun method seems to pay off.
Absolutely.
Peter, I felt like that was your strategy today. Was just kind of get in there, run and gun, and just kind of take them out.
Yeah. It started out a little rough. You know, the pressure's up. I think you know, when it's a 3v1, you know, I think it's cranked to 11. So you know, you try and go out there and do the best you can. I had a couple instances where, you know, going in and you know, just getting killed right off the bat. So, you know, you got that time to kind of reevaluate and retool how you're going to go in again. I think I did try some the regular battle royale with you know, just myself without a team, and then going against, you know, three other people on another team. Tried that a couple times, just practicing before the match, and you know, I felt that solos was the way to go. It's hard to you know, get one over on a team of 3 guys versus 1. So
yeah.
Now you are, just so you know, I don't know if you're aware of this or not, you are the only player in this entire tournament that is going at it solo but still winning. You're not the only one to go at it solo, but you are the only one that has thus far made it even to the Elite 8 by playing solo. Now going on to the Final 4 playing solo. Do you feel like that's going to be an advantage when you go up against some of these other guys who have had, you know, now a few rounds to get kind of like familiar with their organized teams? I think you definitely have an advantage against the guys who are just doing drop-in, like pickup groups. But the guys who have organized teams, how do you feel like that's going to play out for the Final 4 for you?
I think that's going to be interesting. Obviously, they have a good cohesiveness together. You know, calling out different enemies. You know, covering more sides. I think that might be a little bit of a hindrance as well. If you look at, you know, having three guys on your squad, you know, if one of you goes down and then you're out, you know, spectating the other 2 guys, you gotta wait until either you know, both of them die. So, you know, that's less kills, I guess, that you're gonna get. That's you know, less coverage, obviously. But whereas solo, you're kind of running your own game. You know, there's definitely a different approach. But I think, I think solos, you know, might win out. We'll have to see, I guess, obviously.
Matt, he's winning for Texas. That is the importance. He's winning for Texas, Matt.
There we go. I agree. I know you're a huge Texas fan, Lavelle, so I know that you're very, very happy. But, you know, the one thing that I will say is that, you know, going into this battle today, Ohio State, I think, is definitely the favorite to win. Yep. Now, right now, who we're looking at is we are looking at, in the top left-hand corner, we have Cincy, the big carry from yesterday. Top right. Oh, yeah. Cincy dropped 19 points yesterday for his victory. Now, in the top right, we actually have Guchamus Fleximus 19, who, again, carried his team, offered a lot of support yesterday. He was mostly going at it solo yesterday as well, so we're going to see how he represents his team today. And then lower right-hand corner, we have SJ Rags, who, again, got quite a few kills, a lot of survivability, but just couldn't put the numbers on the board to end up being top scorer for Ohio State. Now, Cincy 4 has a big battle today up against Squiggle. So Squiggle RY for Texas Tech had a really, really heavy game yesterday. As me and Lavelle were kind of reviewing yesterday, he dropped 19 to win it in a close 17 from Kolbasor. Today, if it's going to be that close, who knows? We've seen a lot more competition today. The scores have been much higher. The points have been much higher. And the competitive level is, you know, I think as all 3 of us have stated, much higher. So if it's going to be a close game today, Squiggle's going to have a really tough time against somebody like Cincy 4 who can really bring that fire when they need to.
I think unofficially it's tied right now. So, yeah, we've seen that. We've seen everyone start up pretty neck to neck and even hold it down to the last couple of minutes.
Absolutely. Now, Lavelle, this is the first ever eSports bragget. So, first off, the brag house, a brag kit. I get it, but what is a bragket? For everyone at home that's just now joining us, what is the bragket, and how did you guys come up with this crazy, innovative idea?
So, the brag house, our mission is really to create a community around college sports. And that's like our #1 focus that we've always trying to do. And so we tried to do, we first, you know, started an internship program where we reached out to the major colleges and kind of saw, in order to get a community, you need to see what the community is actually doing. So we came up with this concept. We had a really successful app beta launch. And then we were like, okay, this is what we feel from a social aspect, from a gaming aspect, we should do. We were always going to progress into esports. I think it probably progressed a little bit faster. So what we did is we said, hey, what are the reasons why people like college sports? They like college sports because of the passion. They like college sports because of the rivalries. I've been cheering Texas like a madman all day. Everyone here, it's like Texas Tech and Ohio State both came out for their schools a lot. So we said, how do we marry those two things together where we can have that same excitement and we can still do, the same passion you get from a traditional bracket. So a bragket is Braghouse's, that's our interpretation of a March Madness bracket, where gamers represent the schools and they advance their schools.
Okay, so I know you guys did have a traditional March Madness competition, like where you guys were going to do a March Madness bracket, and obviously with all the college sports getting canceled due to the COVID-19 crisis, I know that you guys started working like urgently and eagerly on getting this done in time to still offer March Madness to everybody. You guys started right at the end of March. It really got a really good reception. I believe there's like hundreds, if not thousands, of people now that have filled out their brackets. Are you guys planning to lean heavily into esports? I get that this was like a really agile, really innovative pivot, but now that you guys have found a following here, you see that there's obviously college, ambassadors that are eager and willing to, endorse their schools, represent their schools, and compete. Are you guys planning on staying in the esports space and growing that out?
Oh, absolutely. I think we've always planned to go to the esports. I think we were going to finish up with some traditional sports first competitions, and then we were going to kind of start branching out and seeing where esports is. But I think, the beauty of esports now is that it's so much room to still grow. So it's like we have a 16-team competition, and, I think as you saw from Peter, as you saw from Alex, and you saw from everyone, like the competition has come out. So it's like, that's 16 teams. How traditional sports work, we could have had, if we had more time, we could have people qualifying to be inside of a March Madness bracket. So I think there's so much room to grow. As you know, we're working on other sports as well. So I think really any type of traditional sport, we can kind of marry the two together.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much again for bringing this to us. It's really innovative, it's different, and it's exciting for somebody who loves college sports, also loves esports. I'm excited to see these two mash up. Now, we do have a couple different people in the chat that have, mentioned a few things. Alex Bowers came in after his recent match, said Final Four. He said good luck to everybody. He's really looking forward to it. Scott Began said go Buckeyes. So he's tuning in just for Ohio State. Let's see what they do.
Shout out to Scott. He is one of our interns actually at Bragg House. And Scott has, it's like we can hear, we can obviously have the game chat on, and shout out to Travis. He's also one of our interns, and their schools are going against each other today. So,
there we go.
But you can hear it's like, everyone has that pride to do it. So it's like, I also feel like with this platform, we can give, esports players and gamers a different platform, because now they get to actually work with a platform that's more closely related to traditional sports than, just a separate platform by itself.
Absolutely. And it's interesting because, honestly, it seems so logical that people would, bring college sports into, it's a very new domain, but the idea of sports, the idea of team loyalty is such an old concept. Why do you feel like somebody hasn't done this before? And why do you feel like Bragg House was, obviously you guys were in the right place, right time to solve the solution to the problem. But how do you guys think nobody saw this problem before? Esports, college, it makes so much sense. I don't get why nobody hasn't done it.
I guess my response to that is, instead of looking at, I guess, why people didn't do it, I think why we were able to do it so well is because we stayed true to our roots of listening to the community. And we said, hey, what does the community want? We spent months putting together, after we had our successful beta launch, we put together I believe some great interns who all share that same community approach. Dawson was on yesterday from Virginia Tech, who his school was destroyed, brought a bunch of other Virginia Tech Hokies to come in. And so we kind of talked to them. We built a very strong internship, got a strong relationship with the colleges, and then had them kind of reach out to their student body, figure out what they wanted. So when COVID-19 happened, unfortunately, we were already in a position to know what everyone wanted. We had already had moved to different areas. So I'm not going to say it wasn't a swift pivot. I still remember the call with the CEO of, the technology development firm, as well as myself and our, my other partner. And we literally came up with the concept that night on that phone call, which was only 3 weeks ago. But we were in the right position to do it. So I don't know why other people haven't done it yet, but I know that, we just try to stay true to our roots. And I think that's why we were able to do it.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you so much for bringing us this entertainment. I want to tune in real quick. We have a couple people asking, T-Chum3 asking for a score check inside of the comments. So as of right now, the official score last updated is Texas Tech 5 to Ohio State 4. Squiggle and Cincy actually just tied it up. It's 5-5. Texas Tech 5, Ohio State 5, Squiggle RY, and Cincy 4. Both in the lead for their team. Kind of as we predicted, we saw them as leaders yesterday, so I believe we're going to continue to see that today. So right now we're watching Squiggle RY. He just got a death. He's going to be going to the gulag. Chris, his teammate, still up on the map, has not died yet. Still carrying the gun he originally started with. Has quite a few kills. We could see him rise up to the top. Now, Cincy 4 is dropping back in, getting into a fresh match.
You know what they say about the third game? The first two are warm-ups, the third game is just straight go. That's what they say.
Yeah, Peter, I think so one of the things that I obviously, I came through very hard with the Texas thing of supporting Texas, but I wanted to ask you as a gamer, strictly from a gamer perspective, what do you think about the marrying of, the school pride along with gaming as well?
Oh, I think it, goes hand in hand. You look at any sports team, you're going to have diehard fans. I think the same goes with video games. Whether somebody prefers, Call of Duty or some other game, you're always going to have those fans that are, hardcore. And I think the bringing together the two was a fantastic idea. I think you can only go up from here, really.
Yeah, no, and that's what we wanted to do. It's like it was important to us to kind of have that. And like I said, Matt asked a great question, and I don't know why other people haven't thought of it before, but I know it wasn't a big leap for us because, when we talk to people, that's kind of what they wanted to do. So we were totally fine with that.
Oh yeah, and I think the obviously with the COVID-19 situation, it's not anything good, but I think that got the snowball rolling for you guys. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
As far as people are stuck at home, that I think that just allows for your platform to grow even more because there's no sporting events. People need something to do. They need an outlet. So
it's funny. We were talking earlier, Peter, and it's like I can't. And again, going back to the theme of listening to our interns, there was just so many people who were just like, dude, we just want something to do. We want to support. So it's like, we definitely try to pat ourselves on the back of coming up with this, but really, it's like it was also the right time to kind of bring it out. I 100% agree with that.
I think the Call of Duty platform that you guys chose for inaugural game, I thought that was a great idea. There's so many fans of the game itself, me including. I've been playing since the first Call of Duty came out, and it's some people may disagree, but I love it. It's fun getting in there and trying out the different avenues that the game developers come up with. So.
Absolutely. So real quick, I want to just address a couple questions in the chat. Alex Bowers asking, what can you use brag bucks on, Lavelle?
So, Alex, Brag Bucks again started. We wanted to have a really fun gaming thing to capture a college experience through college sports. And we gave, Brag Bucks was a way that people can make game predictions using game currency so we can make sure the platform is absolutely free for everybody. And in turn, you get to win cash prizes. You get to win, gift cards, speakers, so many different things. And most of those competitions, in the platform are like 25 brag bucks, 50 brag bucks. So literally it gives you kind of like, the first thing it gives you is an unlimited chance to win so much more of our cash and prizes to play for free. And we also, and the other thing it gives you is that, we will be using those things in the near future, for certain prizes and stuff to exchange as well.
So I know just in this tournament alone, you guys are giving away like Bluetooth speakers from JBL, Amazon Fire Sticks, $500 cash, 15,000 brag bucks, all different types of stuff. I believe during the NCAA National Championship football game, you actually sent one of the top braggers to the actual game. So you guys really give back to the community, and it's cool because there's not like this barrier to entry. It's not like, I won't name some of the companies out there, but there's definitely like sports-related apps out there that you can jump on and waste a lot of money, lose a lot of money, and it kind of takes the fun out of it. For me, it took the fun out of it, And the same thing has now happened to eSports. You guys give this awesome platform where you can jump in, have fun with your friends, and it takes a lot of the annoying and painful parts of betting on sports, having fun with sports, bragging about how much just really like that competitive nature is even, it's alive amongst fans. And you guys are able to provide an environment and community for that without, frankly, all the BS that comes along with some of those other apps.
Yeah, well, thank you. I mean, that's what we tried to do. We did not, when we saw the as you said, the betting apps out there, we wanted to make sure that we presented an alternative to those apps. Brag House is not a betting app, but people can still get the same fun from the game predictions. But also we have the social aspect. It's like we just finished beta for our application. We switched quickly into this, but I think our next step is to kind of merge those two together, give more streaming platforms, do more things with esports, and kind of build that out. So we're still fresh off beta, but I think there's a lot of room to grow. And I hope this esports model, people can see, which I think we can see from the level of competition as well as the support, that it's definitely the future.
Absolutely. So, Peter, you are an esports player. You are, in the Call of Duty. I'm assuming you've played a lot of other, esport FPS style games. What do you want to see from a genre like this?
I'd like to see it grow. You have other games like Apex Legends, Fortnite, those kind of games, which I'm surprised, nobody's capitalized as far as like, esports bracket style, style with. I'd like to see, more games take on this form of, friendly wagers. Hey, this is my team. They're gonna kick your butt. I think it's gonna be something big.
Absolutely. I agree with that. I mean, I've had a lot of fun. I joined the beta. I joined the bracket. I filled it all out. It was really an intuitive experience. It was like literally I was on my phone. It took me like 2 minutes to just like left click, right click. It felt like swiping on a dating app or something like that. It was just literally vote for your team, get your bracket filled out. Literally as soon as you're done in a few minutes, you're in the action. And they do a good job of kind of keeping you up to date with what's going on with the bracket, what's going on with the teams, and where we are in the competition. I wasn't able to be there for the football one, but I'll be honest, I like this bracket idea way more than like your traditional March Madness. I love basketball, diehard Tar Heels fan, but at the same time, like this is cool. This is something that I could theoretically know somebody that's competing in this way more likely than a professional sport or even a college sport. And this is something that's way more approachable for like a lot more fans of a university, alum of a university, family of university. It's everyone can rep their team now. It doesn't have to be just the top 10, 20%. The top 10, 20% are always going to rise to the top, but anyone can jump in, rep their school, and show some of that team pride.
Yeah, and I think and you said it. It's like I think in so many different sports, there's kind of a divide. So it's like, I think, even people who didn't really follow traditional sports were more like gamers, and then people who did traditional sports and didn't really do esports. I feel like now this is our platform gives them a very logical bridge that kind of just meshes everything together. So, I think there's a lot of room to grow. I think Peter and everyone else are like, for gaming hard and balling out.
Absolutely. So, guys, I want to get back over. I want to update you guys real quick. So, right now we have a couple big things happening. So, as of right now, we have officially Texas Tech beating Ohio State 9-5 right now. So, Swiggle RY with 9 kills, Cincy 4 leading Ohio State. Still not enough to catch Swiggle and Texas Tech. We're going to see what happens now. Right now, we are about 34 minutes away from the end of this match. So we are getting close to halfway finished with the match. We have about 30 minutes left, just over that. There's still enough time to fill out your brackets, get involved. Again, it's the braghouse.com. You can go right online, 2 minutes like I just said. Real fast swipe with your finger. You're filling out your bracket. You're jumping in time for the Final Four. And I believe we have multiple more prizes for the Final Four, the Grand Championship. So, guys, get in. It's going to be next week, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's going to be a big weekend of esports with hopefully a really big action-filled conclusion.
Absolutely.
I'm actually on pop this. You have.
So it looks like, what is it, 3-on-3, correct?
Yep. Oh yeah. Oh no, this is so I think Texas Tech has two gamers. Yeah, Squiggle and Chris 212-121. And they are so Squiggle brought it yesterday really, really hard. And I think Cincy 4 actually had the same score. So I still, with the half an hour left, I think it's still a real close game. I mean, but they're going at it. And again, talking about different styles, it's like, the running gun. It's like, I think it was impressive to see that you, again, I think as Matt noticed, that you were the only one who was successful in just being a solo and just going at it.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've been playing Warzone since they've come out with the the battle royale style, and ever since they brought up solos, it's always difficult playing with random people. When they brought that solo mode out, I found that to be great. I didn't have to worry about anybody else, just myself. Everybody was fair game, so it was great.
I can relate to that. When I'm playing, I like doing the one-man army kind of a thing. Usually I'll try to jump in a helicopter, pick my battles, get really good loot and position myself for the final 10. I don't think I've ever done it by myself and not ended up in top 10 just because it's it's pretty simple. If it's actually like you were just saying, it's way less confusion, way less opportunity for somebody to get caught out in the open. Now you're trying to revive them. You're just worried about yourself. So it's a little bit easier if kind of how to manipulate certain situations to either get away or get to a tactical position where you can obviously drop your enemy.
Totally agree. I find, at least for my gameplay, the big thing is, having a good pair of headphones, making sure you can hear what's going on because, footsteps, it always amazes me, if you don't have a good headset, somebody could be sneaking right up on you and you're not going to hear them, and, then you're dead, so.
Absolutely. So, in just a minute, one of the things we've been really trying to do is just kind of, focus in, let all of the streamers just kind of, showcase their skill set. So we're going to go one by one, showcase you guys a couple of the gamers real quick, just so you guys can kind of jump into it, see first perspective. We're going to turn the volume up so you guys can listen in. So player one, this is Squiggle RY, who's currently leading for Texas Tech.
don't even know what to buy.
So as you guys can see, obviously Squiggle, definitely a leader yesterday. Continues to be, a leader today. Every single time we've seen him play, he really brings a lot of action. He brings a lot of noise. Now, yesterday, of our top scorers, unfortunately, I believe he was by far our top. Actually, no, I'm sorry. He had 26 kills. So throughout the day yesterday, Lavelle, I know you were mentioning this earlier. He had 26 kills, but at the same time, we had people that were also in there, like, Freedom J, 34 kills yesterday, 36 earlier today. It's going to be, I think a pretty big competition, and it's going to be one of those things, Squiggles, I mean, obviously he has, the battle right now. He seems to be handling that just fine. Right now he has a confirmed kill count of 9. But as we continue to jump, deeper into this competition, he's going to have to, really step it up and get a little more organized if he wants to take out, certain people. I know Freedom J is ready. I know AMJ is ready. There's multiple competitors. So Lavelle, you tell me, of this game so far, how are you feeling? How do you feel about Texas Tech? Cincy 4 just dropped 3 kills, so Ohio State's now up 11-9.
I mean, I love this match. This is probably one of my favorite matches, because I think they both came so ready. I think this is the most evenly matched. I think they're super talented here. And it's like, I've been listening to these guys, and it's like they want it so bad. And personally, from a Bragg House perspective, that's what we want. We want to have that same passion. It's like, the UVA guys, they were like, they brought in everything. We're like, yeah, who's, and they thanked us and we thanked them, because it's like they brought it for their school. That's what we want. It's like, we want this to be the fun competition that marries the two together. So from a gaming perspective, I mean, I love this. I love these teams. I told you, I think you should watch out for Cincy 4. I think Cincy 4 is about to body people. And I think he's playing a little strategic right now. I think everyone was a little strategic, but I think he's about to start bodying.
Well, I mean, we definitely saw him, yesterday bring it out. He kind of stayed dormant most of the match, and the last couple minutes really brought it out to eventually secure the victory with 19 kills. Today, he's at 11. SJ Rags, though, is right behind him at 10 kills. So right now, we are looking at Chris, 21, and he is representing Texas Tech. So this is our second player working with Squiggle. Now, Squiggle is definitely, working higher on the team, I would say. But that being said, they are working together. So they're trying to come up with a way that both of them can kind of maximize their number of kills. They were the two of the players that were talking earlier as well about, how do we maximize what our impact's going to be? How do we maximize the amount of kills that we're going to score as a team? So right now, Squiggle RY with 9 kills, Chris with 1, and that is Texas Tech's roster for this match. Next, we're going to show you somebody who's just now dropping in, but of course, not last nor least, Cincy 4. Now, Cincy 4 carried, as we were saying earlier, carried his team yesterday. Lavelle, I know you've really been watching Cincy. I think that you have a really strong feeling about Cincy. Cincy continues to, win. I mean, almost every engagement, he enters. He's either bringing home a W or going to the gulag and jumping right back in after he gets a win there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of him. It's like being, like someone who played, sports actually in college. It's like I just love, I love the fight. It's like, so I know, when he Cincy, I just hear him talk like they came for the fight, and I just like that, But like I said, Squiggle did the same thing for his team. So I mean, anyone can go.
Right now, we just saw Cincy get 2 kills right off the bat. So Cincy, right now, it's not an official score. It's unconfirmed. Right now, sitting around 13 kills. Just dropped back in. So I think, they're both definitely bringing the noise. Squiggle, as well, is bringing a lot of noise right now. Getting a lot of kills. It'll be really interesting to see how both of these two players kind of continue to lead the pack. SJ Rags, though, I don't want to, undersell him. He's over here. He's surviving, too. Now, we are going to go back to Cincy. We want to show a few minutes of each player, but I really wanted to drive home. You know, SJ Rice is right now at 10 points. He's so close to surpassing Cincy. You know, he could end up being a leader today. He wasn't far behind the other day, so for him to take the lead now wouldn't be, you know, it wouldn't be that obscure.
No shield challenge, I guess.
So Lavelle, we have the Final Four pretty much carved into stone. This is our last game of the night. This will absolutely give us the final resolution in terms of who to expect in the Final Four. Now, Final Four, correct me if I'm wrong, starts next week, right?
It does. It starts Friday. I think our first game is at 6 o'clock, and it's going to be, that match should be set already, and we're going to have Texas versus Virginia Tech.
Okay, so that's going to be a big one, a hell of a start to the Final Four. And I know that Saturday and Sunday we have our next 2 games, correct?
Yep. And then Saturday we have our other division. We have the East. So it's going to be the winner of these 2 teams, winner of your favorite player, Alex Killjoy, against either Texas Tech or Ohio State.
Alrighty. So this game is going to decide a lot, I think, in terms of, is your bracket going to the bank or is it going bust? Now, for me, there's definitely been some upsets in my bracket. I know earlier when we had Devon Morgan on, he was saying his bracket, he has VT, obviously, all the way to the end. But even his bracket has been a little bit messed up on the opposite side of the fence. Lavelle, how's your bracket doing?
So, I have to be honest, my bracket definitely is not perfect anymore. I had UVA going on and beating Vandy. So like I said, I didn't see that. But that's what March Madness is all about. So, it's you never know.
Absolutely. So I want to go through real quick, just give a shout out to a couple of our watchers from home, a couple of our fans. Now, so we have Daniel Lebo, 53% accurate bracket, really bringing the noise, pretty close to the top, but we do have some people that are higher up in the 60s. Let's see, we have Bossman LJ, 66% on their bracket, OHBH, 60% on their bracket. We have a couple other high hitters, Joe Rasick, 53%. Now we have Clay Beans VT, Virginia Tech Clay Beans. If you're watching, looks like your bracket's doing pretty well too. If Virginia Tech continues to go on, I'm sure that your bracket will end up very good. Now, let's see, we have a couple more people. Sheridan Moore, one of the higher brackets, 66% accurate right now. So it looks like you've had pretty much a perfect bracket out of all of the games. Shells H, 53%. So you guys are all doing pretty good. Those are some of our heavier hitters. BH Travis, one of the Bragg House interns, looks like either he has some insider information or he's just really good at guessing. Sean Oliver, 60% accurate bracket. Guys, we are having some really, really strong guesses. It would take me way longer to tell you everybody below 20%. So there's definitely been some upsets. There's been a lot of action. Epic Sean, Virginia Tech, you're at 60%. Congratulations. So a lot of you guys that are up there, you guys are scoring high in your brackets. You guys are going to most likely be winning some prizes. Dana McCormick, 66%. A lot of competition, guys. It's not too late to jump in. You can still go over to thebraghouse.com. Real quick, I'm going to go off play. I just want to bring up real quick, show you these links. Here's the eSport bracket link, thebraghouse.com. Just click that link right below the chat. As soon as you guys do that, you guys will easily be able to fill it out. It takes less than 2 minutes, and you'll be jumping into the fun, potentially winning some prizes, some cash, and ultimately 15,000 brag bucks. Now, Johnny Be Good is our last participant that has over a 60% bracket as of right now. Again, guys, it's not too late, so if you guys do want to join in, don't be like Johnny. Don't wait to be the last one that fills out the bracket. Jump in early, jump in the fun, and make sure you guys have the best chance possible to win some of these prizes. Because the more people that jump in, the more often we're going to be able to bring you guys esports tournaments, get you guys in-person interviews with the players, pre and post-match. And we're going to be able to bring you guys more interesting game types. As Lavelle, I think you've said it many times, you guys love listening to the community, leaning on the community to really point you guys in the right direction to move. And I think I can at least speak for everybody that's been on this stream and saying that the community wants more.
Yeah, and I think the last thing I'll say, I agree with everything Matt said. Last thing I'll say, we want to bring more of these things on. So please, the best way to support is obviously letting us know what else we can do, and just kind of following.
Absolutely. Now, Peter.
These are neck and neck, Matt.
Yeah, they are. It's pretty much like 1-2 kills apart the whole time. Now, Peter, I want to ask you, what are you seeing from your player perspective, from an expert, like insider on the field with 2 victories? Not to, I'll toot your horn for you. What are you seeing from this competition? What are you thinking for tomorrow and the rest of the week?
I think the matchups are going to be pretty good. It looks like score-wise, nobody's been blown out of the water necessarily. Maybe that Virginia game, Florida, was a bit of disproportionate. And it looked like everything else, score-wise, seemed to be, pretty neck and neck. I think it'll be a good challenge for teams going forward,
Absolutely. So I did want to mention one thing. Now, you are the only player that's gone to this bracket single-handedly solo and has still walked out with 2 Ws. Now, are you planning on changing anything for next week's Final Four?
I think I don't know, actually. I'll have to practice a little bit this week, just kind of see, if anything else is working, whether that be dropping into Battle Royale with, a couple of teammates, maybe trying, it seems like at least Virginia Tech, they were able to get some decent kills score-wise there. So maybe trying that avenue. I found that, solo seems to work best for me, but, that could change.
So, Peter, we had Mark on, who's Freedom J 836 from Virginia Tech, who you're going against next week, and he was just as calm as you. So I don't know if it's this that cool, calm collective, but he was just as calm as you, and he has been blowing things out. But with that said, Sarge, I'm still
all Texas.
So yeah, I think overall, it's a game that obviously everybody that's playing likes to play it. A challenge is always fun. I think it all comes down to luck a lot of times too. You're a skilled player, but you could be having a bad day, just as easy as the next guy. I think the big takeaway is go in, have fun. If you win, great. If you lose, there's always tomorrow. So
absolutely.
Now, I do want to update us real quick. I want to bring back the scores. Texas Tech right now down 13. Now, Ohio State's score 14. Cincy and Squiggle both still leading their teams respectively, but SJ Rags has crept up 13 kills onto the board. It is now tied with Texas Tech by himself. So all we need is Cincy 4, SJ Rags, either one of them now independently contending for the win against Squiggle. Squiggle RY pretty much single-handedly holding back for Texas Tech.
And what's just interesting about this, Matt, is this is kind of like the first, and that's why I know I was going to love this match, but this is kind of the first time we're seeing, like, generally, one teammate just kind of like totally, kind of carries the team, puts the team on his back. But Cincy 4 and SJ Rags are literally, everyone is gunning right now.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, it's like, this is, again, we talk about the benefit of, do you want to stack your team? Do you not want to stack your team? It's like, it's still the highest score, but now you see that everyone has the option. And if we have 2 players that each have, like, I think it's got updated. SJ Rags has confirmed 14 now.
So him 14. Wow. So this is heating up, guys. We have just over 15 minutes left. We have 16 minutes left in the game. We are 13-14, Ohio State's favor. Let's see what we can make happen.
Now, it looks from the streams there, a few guys are doing solos, even though they're on a team, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was the first question. So, how we set it up, Peter, is, as you know, it's like, it's the highest score wins. And,
right.
So even we let people use their own strategy. Matt and I were talking about this earlier today. It's like some people said, hey, let's squad and loot and we'll get our guy out the gulag even if he gets killed and he doesn't have to wait, and we'll make up those 30-40 seconds. That's their strategy, if they want to do that. But like you said, I think we're happy to have you on because you're just like, hey, I was solo. I think LSU came with a very good strategy. It's just whether it was luck, whether things didn't pan out. It's like, so, I think they're just, Ohio State is like, every man, let's run and gun and let's just start killing people. But they are coordinating though. There's definitely coordination going on though, so I think that is important.
Absolutely. So Cincy, just want to drive this home real quick. Cincy, just inside the gulag. Now, we've been talking multiple times today, multiple times yesterday. The gulag has been a huge point of, strategy contention. Do you jump right out, jump into a new game? Do you go for the gulag win? Do you wait for your friends to bail you out? Cincy, who right now is holding down the lead 17-13 for Ohio State, jumped into the gulag, threw his gun, ran up and tried to fist fight somebody. As he died, now is back in the menu. So we're going to fade back to all of Texas Tech's team. Again, top left we have Squiggle. Top right we have Chris 21. Bottom right we have Cincy from Ohio State. Now over here we're going to show you guys all of the Ohio State team. So Quizzy's still in the same spot on this map. Now we have Guchimus Fleximus 19 as well as SJ Rags, all representing their team really, really well right now. SJ Rags is, as of right now, above Squiggle for Texas Tech. So he is 14-13. Cincy breaking away from everyone else at 17.
I'm about to pop off for 10 PC right here, so I think this game's over.
I heard Cincy talking ahead right before they started, and he was like, I'm going to bring it. And I was like, I think he is too. But again, it's like, where we're in time, like just a little bit under 15 minutes. Anything could happen. I mean, with scores
What's the official score right now?
Right now, 17-13. Sorry, Lavelle. 17-13 Ohio State.
Okay. Yeah, I think the team here doing the solo runs, obviously, I think that's the better option. I feel like if you're gonna run and gun as a team, it's kind of hard just because not everybody's gonna get a kill. If there's only one person on a team that they're going up against, or what have you. I feel like that's definitely less kills. And then again, if you die, you got to wait for your team to buy you back. And that's just more time wasted where you could be getting kills. But I think overall, the solo here is the way to go. And it looks like, they're doing pretty good, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of them are doing pretty good. Just going to the chat real quick. It looks like T-Chum, yep, you mentioned the score. Alex says, guys, thanks again. Gonna go hit the showers. Thanks again today, Alex. You brought, again, the competition was not disappointed by your 17-12 victory over UVA. Noah, looks like he's saying hello. What's up, Noah? Thanks for joining us. If you're just now joining us, Noah, want to break this down to you. What this is the very first ever eSports March Madness bracket. So what you need to do is go over to thebraghouse.com. It's okay if you're joining us a little bit late. You can still fill it out. You can join us for the entire Final Four, the entire championship game, and still walk away with some really cool prizes like Bluetooth speakers, Amazon Fire Sticks, even $500 in cold, hard cash. So if you're just now joining us like Noah is, go on over, go to thebraghouse.com, fill out your bracket, jump into the fun with us. It's going to be wild, guys. Already this game is out of control. We have 17 Cincy, 13 Squiggle. We still have just over 15 minutes left. I'm sorry, 10 minutes left. We are going to, I think, see probably the closest game of this tournament so far today.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, an important thing to notice here is that we have, of Ohio State's players, 2 of them right now are in the menu waiting to find a game. Now, let's go over again. Look over here, Texas Tech's entire roster. 1 is in a warm-up, but the other 2 are on the field. They're playing. It's going to be really, really interesting to see. Now, Squiggle is top left. So if Squiggle can make this happen, if Squiggle can somehow bring it out, he has just under 10 minutes now left. Not a good start to fall to the ground like that. No, that was definitely not the direction I think he wanted to go. It's still warm-up, though. So, again, I think he's already warmed up. He's already in his element. Right now, we're just waiting for him to get onto the ground, which we have 4 seconds left. Let's go ahead and full screen it. This is really going to come down a lot, I think, a whole lot to Squiggle RY.
Both Squiggle and Cincy 4 are ahead, right? Are ahead of Texas Tech.
I think when the when the time crunch gets in there, and you're running around trying to find people to kill, sometimes you just can't find anybody, especially when it comes down to like the last 5 minutes, and all you want to do is get those final 2 or 3 kills, or how many kills you can get.
Absolutely. So I do want to bring up a few different screens here, guys. We're going to go ahead and rearrange things a little bit. Just want to bring you as much action as possible as we get into the end of this match. Now we have 9 minutes left. Top left, we have Squiggle RY representing Texas Tech. Top right, we have Cincy 4 representing Ohio State. Bottom right, SJ Rags representing Ohio State. These are our top 3 contenders. Right now, our top fraggers. Everyone contending for the win. The easiest way to look at this representation is the left side of the screen is Texas Tech, even the 2 guys I'm co-hosting with. Right side of the screen is 100% Ohio State.
I know Squibble just got another unofficial kill. Like I said, this game is far from over.
Oh no, I think it's just now heating up. You can definitely tell both of them are running around faster. They're moving around faster, looking for faster, engagements. If they don't find it, they're moving on. Now Squiggle is stuck inside of the gulag right now. Definitely not where you want to be. No,
you're wasting precious time too. I mean, if you look at how many rounds he's got till he fights, that's 2 rounds. And then if he dies, that's another. You're probably looking at a couple minutes, just waiting to fight and then get back into the game. So I guess it comes down to do you quit back out to the menu and then join in into another game, or do you wait? Kind of a hard situation to make a decision about.
Absolutely. So we have one player right now going into the gulag, seeing if they can get their way out. We're gonna have to see what the deal is. What's your guys' ranks level? They're all over the place. Noah, thanks for asking. The way this works, obviously anyone can contend for their team. There were some pre-quals that people had to qualify for, show the skill level. But at the end of the day, anybody who's any type of fan of your school, went to your school, your brother went to your school, you can represent the college that you choose to represent. Now, whether you make that team or not is going to depend, obviously against how many skilled competitors are also from your school. Now, that being said, we have tons of people that have reached out to us just in the last couple of days saying, hey, my school's not listed in the tournament. I'd love to get us listed in the next March Madness style tournament. No problem. Lavelle's already said many times, reach out to the Bragg House. They're on Instagram. You can find them on LinkedIn. Go to their website. They have a contact bot. You guys can go talk to them, and if you want to get your team involved, get them involved. That is exactly why they built the app. They want more college communities coming together to celebrate the love of sports.
Yeah, and I think you said something really important too. It's like, obviously if you go to the school, that's your alumni, that's really important. But, I know a lot of people are just, they're from the state and they just want to support that team. That's an allegiance. It's like, it doesn't say that you have to go to that school and got a diploma from that school. If you have a team and you're like, hey, and you said that, you're 100% right, Matt, we want to support that. So if there's teams that are not there and you're like, hey, I want my school in there, let us know. And we want to set up this competition.
Now, Lavelle, do you see you guys branching out into doing college football, other college sports?
Yeah, I mean, totally. We already did a successful beta with our app, which is available on iOS and Google Play. We already did successful beta in college sports for traditional college football. I can clearly see a eSports version of that as well. Kind of doing the same thing we did here and kind of merging them together. And I think that would be just as exciting, qualifying, getting different schools lined up. I was just excited to see you play LSU today as I was excited to watch Texas lose against LSU last year in college football. So, that's the only thing we're trying to recreate is that passion. There's 5 minutes left exactly. Everyone here came out to play. Nobody wants to take the L here.
Absolutely not. So, guys, once again, as Lavelle just said, there is 5 minutes remaining. We're going to count it down with you guys on the screen as it comes up.
Yep.
To let you guys know as it drops.
Do we have any updated scores, Matt?
So, as of right now, we have a little bit of separation. Cincy 4 bringing the noise at 20 kills. Squiggle RY and SJ Rags both tied at 15. Now, Squiggle RY's been in this spot before yesterday morning, had no issue getting out of it. So it's going to be really interesting to see what they do.
I was watching Squibble. I think I do think he has a couple more kills in there. I don't think he died yet, so we haven't seen his final tally.
Now we'll go ahead. We'll cut over to Squiggle real quick. Dropping back into the match. Now, again, very, very important representation. You know, Chris is absolutely trying to help him as much as he can. I think at this point, Squiggle is really on his own, though, representing. He's really got to try to wrap this up himself. Now, at the exact same time, we have approximately 4, 2, 1. All right, boom, 1 second left. So now we have Cincy 4 dropping back into the match.
Gas is closing on your position. Suggest you get moving.
I think this is going to be a crucial moment for who are we on here? Is this Squiggle or is this?
Right now, this is Cincy right now.
Cincy?
Oh.
Cincy.
Sorry, I had a different.
With so little time left, I guess that it's going to come down to where he drops. I guess usually jumping straight out is a good option. Usually, you pick a good spot. Contract-wise, if there's a contract or if there's a helicopter, usually a vehicle is always a good choice. Try and get in and get
Run people over.
Yeah.
Matt, can we put up both Squiggle and Cincy 4?
So right now we actually have all 3 leaders up on the screen. So just to reiterate for everybody else right now that's sitting at home, top left is going to be Cincy. Top right is going to be Squiggle RY. Bottom right is going to be our third contender, SJ Rags. Now, as of right now, our confirmed score, Cincy still has 20, leading the pack. Right behind him, SJ Rags, 17. Third place is Squiggle RY. So that means that right now he has 2 players he needs to knock down, and we only have 3 minutes left.
Again, this is, I think, the first time that normally we have one player who's leading, and then we have another player on the other team. This time we've seen 2 solid players, 2 players he has to jump ahead of in order to advance.
So as you guys can see on your screen, there's 2 minutes left. We are in the last 2 minutes, coming down to some final kills. We got to really see what's going to happen. Now, unfortunately, Cincy just found himself inside of the gulag. So that might be the last, depending on... Yep, looks like he's back to the menu. So he will probably not be back in. Now it is all on the hands of Squiggle and SJ Rags to get past that 20 kill mark.
Enemy personal radar in the air.
7:43, everybody. We do have 2 minutes left. There's still some time to make it happen. Cincy, of course, being the competitive nature, trying to jump back into a match, seeing if he can get a few more minutes in. We are down to the final minute.
Top right there is trying to make a little bit of noise. See if we couldn't flush somebody out.
Yeah, it looked like he unfortunately got rewarded for that by going to the gulag. So now we only have 1 player left. As of right now, guys, the only person that we actually have on the ground still competing, for a spot right now, really is in the gulag. So I think that we could pretty much say that this is wrapped unless something happens. I think we're going to do 5 kills in the next couple minutes. I don't think we're going to see that happen. So I will go ahead and call it, Lavelle, if you don't mind. I think Ohio State just walked away with the victory. Everybody, again, this is March Madness eSports with the Bragg House. First time anything like this has ever been done. I'm so grateful to be a part of it. Lavelle, thank you so much to the Bragg House for hosting such an amazing competition. Peter, thank you for participating. Again, I think Lavelle said it many times. This is all about you. This is all about the players, the community around players, no matter what sport it is, no matter what school it is. There's one thing that is in common. It's the love for sports. So again, thank you for participating. Thank you for joining us. If you don't mind, I'm going to finish up with Lavelle. I want to ask Lavelle a few more questions before we get off for the day and head into our last week, Final Four Grand Championship. Peter, again, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So Lavelle, let me ask you this. How do you feel after seeing the final or the Elite Eight? How do you feel after the transformation of watching these teams? They started yesterday. We've seen a lot of, I think, expected things that we were looking forward to. We've seen a lot of things that we definitely, I don't think either of us could have possibly seen coming. How do you feel like that went?
I think it better than we could have imagined.
Absolutely.
I think it's just from what we watched. I think this is even more reasons why this platform is actually needed. I think we were thinking about, as a transition. I think this platform is sincerely missed, and I think this is something that I'm even more passionate about developing now.
Absolutely. So I know that tonight is the conclusion of the Elite Eight. Next week, you guys are bringing us the Final Four, as well as the Grand Championship. Now that starts Friday at 6 p.m. Right?
That's correct. That's correct.
And in the meantime, can we still fill out our brackets? Can we still get involved, even if the Elite Eight's already done? I can still win some prizes on the Final Four and the championship, right?
You can. We have some amazing prizes for the Final Four. We have Bluetooth speakers. We have Fire Sticks. We have cash. We have so many prizes. And as you can see, anything could happen, as we had with Alex Killjoy and Sergeant Bean today. Getting 2 huge March Madness upsets.
Absolutely. So the only other thing I want to ask you real quick. So the Bragg House, everything college sports, you guys just broke into the esports space, are absolutely destroying it with an innovative new concept. Let me ask you this. If we want to keep up to date with the Bragg House, if we want to know what the Bragg House is up to, how can we keep up with the competition, some of the highlight reels of what we've seen so far, some of the players over the next week while we wait for our next fix of March Madness?
I would say definitely subscribe to our channel immediately, but literally go to our website at thebraghouse.com and reach out to us, watch us, and we'll keep updating, and we'll also keep taking feedback. So please keep giving us that feedback.
Absolutely. All right. So I want to thank you again, Lavelle, for coming up with such an innovative, different concept. Again, it's something I really haven't seen done before. So far today, I think that we've talked to, players. We have talked to, Devon Morgan, Eagles player, huge Hokie fan, diehard Hokies legend, I would say. You guys are connecting the players, the sport, the gamification, everything about it is just completely different. I really look forward to next week. Everybody watching at home, thank you guys for joining us. If you haven't filled out your bracket, once again, please get online. Make sure you guys are doing it. Make sure you guys are joining us. We're going to be giving away a lot of prizes over the next couple of weeks. It's going to be a lot of fun, guys. Thank you so much, and we will see you next time.
Thank you.